I'd like to introduce you to Amanda Cooley, representing Kennebec Savings Bank, our sponsor for the year, to introduce our speaker. And welcome, everyone.
Hi, everybody. As Katie said, my name is Amanda Cooley. I'm representing Kennebec Savings Bank, and we're really proud to be sponsoring this year's Women's Luncheon Series. And we're really happy to be here. So before I introduce today's speaker, the Chamber would like to invite you all to attend their next event on January 20th at 7:30 by Zoom for their first Chamber Connections of the year, Meet the Reps. And also the next virtual business after hours on January 27th at 5 p.m. So you can find out more information about both of those events on the website. All right, so moving on to today's speaker. Her name is Kristin Mutchler from Pickles, Potions, and Lotions, and she's speaking on natural skincare. Kristin began Pickles Potions in 2015 in response to a desire to provide effective, natural products for her children. Her business has been growing, and they recently opened a shop on Main Street in Winthrop. She's married to Gary, a British man she met in a youth hostel in China. They have 2 kids, Elijah, who's 9, and Eloise, who is 7. They currently live in Wayne and have been there for 5 years since they moved to the US from South Korea. Kristin's passion is to create high-performing, luxurious, yet affordable natural skincare products for the ingredient-aware modern woman. So here's Kristin to take the lead on that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amanda. Thanks for having me. Before we get started, I have a little intro video I'd like to show you just to give you a little background and a little bit more in-depth view on Pickles Potions.
It is a little bit magical. The little weed in the ground that you just walk over all the time actually has healing power. And that's really cool. The forces of nature and the amazing chemical components in plants and how they work on us. It's just wildly magical. I was a skincare junkie and perfume, like all of that stuff. I had so many different brands and styles and kinds. And one of the reasons I started making actual skincare as opposed to like healing salves, I started reading the ingredients and freaked out because like I don't know what any of them are. I thought to myself, I'm gonna research this and I'm gonna find some really awesome oils and herbs that will help my skin. It is terrifying to start a business. Pickles Potions wouldn't have started without the community. There is a great big sense of aloneness in today's society. And it is amazing when you find a little town that has community and has bonds and where people actually look out for each other. I never expected it to grow this much, and it's because of the people that support me and the community. I would like Pickles Potions to grow enough that, you know, I can support other local people, but I do not want to lose that personal touch. I don't want great big machines making my products. I want to make them, or I want to train people to make them. Pickles Potions is kind of like my lifeblood, but I feel so invested, like emotionally and intellectually, and that it feels like me. I mean, Pickle itself is my nickname, so I feel super invested in Pickles Potions because it is me.
Awesome. Thanks, Katie. So the Pickles Potions journey started 10 years ago in South Korea when I was pregnant with our first child, Elijah. And as first-time moms are prone to do, I started researching everything and discovered that all of my skincare products were full of highly suspect ingredients, from hormone disruptors and toxic fragrances. So I just threw out my huge collection of skincare bottles and jars and began an in-depth search for natural alternatives for everything in my cabinets. And I tried multiple products, but nothing seemed to quite compete with what I'd been using. Granted, this was a decade ago when natural products were not mainstream, and we were living in Asia where I couldn't read the ingredient lists. I dove into my research, on ingredients, herbs, botanical extracts, and essential oils to try to find a way to marry efficacy and the natural. A huge influence on this journey was the birth of our daughter Eloise 7 years ago. She was born with extremely sensitive skin and developed chronic eczema just days after her birth. After her daughter prescribed steroids for a newborn, I resolved to create something effective that would be safe for everyone, including little tiny newborns. When we moved back to the USA in June of 2015, I was able to use freshly grown herbs from our backyard, like you saw in the video, and local beeswax to create some new potions. And in December of 2015, after 5 years of research, courses, classes, and hundreds of trial potions, I tentatively introduced several of my products to my local community in Wayne at a Christmas market. And they were so well received that I felt encouraged to pursue my dream of being a business owner. And over the last 5 years, Pickles Potions has grown from a mom's DIY kitchen creation to a full-fledged international business with a lab and a beautiful new shop front. And I do have certifications in aromatherapy, herbology, and an advanced diploma in organic cosmetic science. And we have grown steadily over the years, so much so that I was able to resign from my 4th grade teaching position at Winthrop Grade School to fully invest in my business last year. So we are now a family-run operation. My husband is a graphic designer, so he does all of the labels and packaging. And he's also a really good interior decorator, I found out, and he does our whole shop. And I'm glad he knows how to do that because I really don't have a decorating bone in my body, and I'm so grateful that he does because he makes it look really good. And so we opened the shop front in August of this 2020 and are excited to continue to grow in 2021. And opening a shop was not in our grand plan, but when COVID hit, we needed to pivot our entire business model to continue growing. And we are part of several artisan guilds in Maine, including Maine Made, Designing Women, and United Maine Craftsmen. And we normally attend 70 plus events every year, from the big wholesale expos to artisan shows and several farmers markets, including Wayne and Belgrade. So with all of our shows canceled, we were completely reliant on our online sales. And additionally, we had to move our lab from a local building in Wayne as the owners were unable to keep it rented out to us. And the shop in Winthrop just fell into our laps, and it felt a lot like destiny. And it just pushed us right into opening a storefront. And we've been blown away by the support. I never really imagined that people would come shop at a shop. I thought that we would just be using it as our production facility and shipping area, but we went for it and people have been amazing. A few things that set us apart from our competition and other like handcrafted skincare products are the professional packaging we have, plus the highly effective products. I grow most of our herbs in my backyard. I only use local beeswax, and we are striving to remove all the plastic from our line. And we do not use soy, palm, artificial fragrances, artificial colorings, or synthetic chemicals, and we source our ingredients from sustainable companies. All of our botanicals and active ingredients are plant-based, but they are considered high performance in the beauty industry. And I strive to keep the prices low and honest, and since we do everything in-house, it's much easier to do that than if I was outsourcing things. And moving forward, we're continuing to adjust our business model as we adapt to this pandemic and how it is changing people's shopping habits. And directing people to our shop would be a great help as we offer a wide variety of services. And I'm even able to do on-the-spot custom orders and always have time for a consult. And we do offer a wide range of products that includes boutique facial care like serums and treatments, eye salves, toners, cleansers, and we also have specific body care products for your hands, feet, cuticles, and items like massage oils and body butters. And we do also have some bath items, although that's not really our specialty, with scrubs, soaks, and bath teas. And we do also have a baby range based on my children's needs, and it includes like a scalp oil and a bum balm, and also a tick and bug spray that's safe for babies, and a bath soak for babies. And we do also have a wide range of medicinal potions, like the willow bark pain rub, the healing salve, the eczema elixir, which was my daughter's potion, and assorted essential oil roller therapies for headaches and stress. And we also have hand sanitizers, deodorants, and clean burning coconut wax candles. And we really do have something for everyone. So as people are increasingly becoming aware of the ingredients in their products and are trying to live more naturally, it is from this that the whole term clean beauty was born. And I'm sure that some of you have already heard of this term. It's pretty much a catchphrase these days in the industry. And clean beauty is a loaded term. I think of it more as a movement. There's a lot of interpretations for the term itself. Here in the US, it has a lot to do with the fact that the United States has not passed a major law to regulate the safety of ingredients used in personal care products since 1938. Yeah, 1938. It's the last time that the government paid attention to what goes into the products you put on your skin. And I think we can all agree that's pretty shocking. Over the last 80 years, more than 80,000 chemicals and ingredients have been introduced and pumped into products across store shelves. Very few have actually been tested for human safety. Potentially harmful ingredients such as parabens, formaldehyde, fragrances, lead, and talc, just to name a few, have easily bypassed the FDA's regulations, and also being linked to cancer, hormone and thyroid disruption, organ harm, skin conditions, and more. And so the FDA, who technically regulates personal care products, does not require testing of the chemicals put into things like lotion, shampoo, facial serums, makeups. And despite much scientific research showing how much harm certain ingredients can cause, there remains no action taken. For example, the EU, they have fully banned more than 1,500 chemicals over the past 20 years that are known or suspected to cause cancer or genetic mutation, reproductive harm, birth defects. And of those 1,500 ingredients, the USA has only partially banned 50 and officially banned only 11. So we've got a lot to catch up on. The EU also requires that all new cosmetics undergo safety assessments prior to going to the market, and the US does not. While that's good for someone like me, an entrepreneur, it also means that anybody can make anything and sell it. And so the big companies that release products, they've never had their products tested either. It turns out that the beauty industry in the US, pretty much like everything else in our lives here in America, is an every man for himself mentality, and it leaves the responsibility up to the consumer to decide what is and isn't harmful, which is why I think there's a lot of work to be done on education of what goes into personal care products so that we can all make our own decisions about the products that we want to use. So clean beauty essentially refers to the movement of cleaning up beauty products and removing all the harmful stuff without sacrificing the performance of the product. And that's one of the main reasons I got into it, because 10 years ago when I was trying natural products, nothing was very effective. It just didn't seem to cut it. And definitely things have changed a lot over the last 10 years, and a lot of new chemicals have been introduced, natural chemicals. Everything is a chemical, but like natural ones have been introduced to be used as actives. So a lot of brands are built around being clean, while many others are in the process of cleaning up their act. And you'll notice that many of the age-old brands are also offering natural and clean products now. And it's important to note, though, is that clean or non-toxic are not the same things as natural or green. And there really is very little regulation on what can be marked as natural. So do make sure to read the labels and do your research on a brand before purchasing. And it really comes down to the individual and what they perceive to be clean or like dirty. For example, some people are 100% opposed to any type of preservative, although any scientist or professional formulator will be horrified at that idea because bacteria. Hello. So sticking with plant-based ingredients is a great start, and educating yourself on the unknown ones, especially those at the end of the list, the ones with all the numbers and sciencey chemical sounding names. And it's easy to be fooled by marketing. They are very good at creating an emotional response in us. So we need to educate ourselves so we can make the informed decisions based on the science and the facts. There is a lot of greenwashing going on in the beauty industry. For example, like I mentioned before, there are no governing bodies that certify the terms natural or clean or green. even though the word organic can refer to just one single ingredient in the whole product. So it's very typical to get pulled into the claims on the package or the highlighted ingredient on the front. And I have also done this, because how many times have you seen products claiming to be made with argan oil? And you're like, ooh, that sounds great. And then you look at the ingredient list and it's way down at the bottom after all the other ingredients. Lots of marketing hype. So which ingredients should we be avoiding? There are a lot of typical ingredients that you'll find in most of the personal care products you buy. A lot of them are parabens, which is one of the preservatives they use. It's been around for a long time, but it's in just about every product. There are phthalates, which are from the fragrance industry. There's also PEGs and BHT, BHA, EDTA. There's a lot of them. We just need to be aware of which ones are toxic and which ones we want to avoid. There is a really great app called Think Dirty, and it has a lot of popular brands on there, and you can check out their scores. It doesn't have all the brands, it just has most of the major ones, but it is really easy to be out and about when you're shopping and just look at the app and be like, all right, where do these guys rate on the scale? And suggesting 5 or lower. Another source is EWG, which is one that's been around for a while. I used that back in the day when I started learning about ingredients. So it's great. It has a lot more ingredients on it, but the app is quick and easy to use while you're out shopping. And also, we as consumers need to educate ourselves to make wise choices. And since the skin is the largest organ of our body, the toxins it absorbs can lead to sensitivities, allergies, and other serious health issues. And we should be aware of this because what we use is essentially food for our skin, and it does have an effect on our bodies. All right, so let's look at the big offenders. So the first off is the parabens, and they are found in virtually every kind of product you can think of. They are known endocrine disruptors, and they mimic estrogen, which can lead to hormone imbalances. There are quite a few scientists and formulators who argue that parabens have had the most research and testing done on them, and that they're actually not that bad. But for me, as a formulator, personally, I do not use them because I would rather use more natural alternatives that are available. The next up is the SLS, and the SLES is the sodium lauryl sulfate that is found in shampoo, toothpaste, cosmetics, soap. And they are surfactants, so they make a nice creamy lather. However, they are known irritants and they can trigger allergies. I've had a lot of people come into my shop saying that they just discovered that they're allergic to SLS and SLES. And they're trying to find natural alternatives to soap and shampoo and lotions without those in them. I do not use those at all. There are more natural alternatives available, such as SLSA, so it looks similar, but it's completely different. There's also some derived from coconut, sodium cocoglucinate, decoglucoside, and it's something you need to learn to read. The SLS and SLES are the most common ones, though, so just avoid anything that has that in them. Toluene is another one that you may have heard of. It's mostly found in nail polish and hair dye. It is very toxic to our immune systems and can even cause birth defects. If you're pregnant, you should just avoid nail polishes containing toluene completely. But thankfully, there are quite a few natural alternatives these days, and there are a lot of nail polish companies that they say like Big 5 free, and they don't have toluene or the other really dangerous ones. And I don't do any nail polish, so I can't really comment on formulating those. Another one is the phthalates. They're used in fragrances and other personal care products. They are really serious endocrine disruptors, and they can cause hormonal and reproductive problems. Many synthetic fragrances contain phthalates, although more and more are becoming phthalate-free. And this is a big problem with those heavily scented candles. Although nowadays you really can find a lot of fragrances that do not have phthalates. So those are much better. They're like naturally derived scents instead. Polyethylene glycol, which my brother likes to say is airplane antifreeze, is found in a lot of products. Lotions, shampoo, sunscreen. They also call those PEGs, PEGs. And they're often contaminated with ethylene oxide and 1,4-dioxane. And those cause respiratory problems and are carcinogens. And formaldehyde is also used in the personal care products, not just in the coroner's room. They use it as a preservative, just as it preserves the bodies. It is a known carcinogen, though, and it has been linked to asthma and other toxicities. It won't say formaldehyde on the label. There are many other chemical names it'll go by, but they do release formaldehyde into the product to kill the bacteria. Oxybenzone and other chemical sunscreens, those can cause issues. There are two types of sunscreens, though. There's the chemical and then the mineral. The chemical ones are the known disruptors, and they are also the ones that like actually sink into your skin. The mineral sunblocks, the ones that stay on top of your skin, are much better for you. Zinc oxide, titanium dioxide, they are usually heavier, and sometimes they do have a little bit of a white cast, but they're much safer for you. And they do help protect you from the sun better. Another one is the DEA. It's a foaming agent, not the Drug Enforcement Agency. And it is completely restricted in the EU, but it's used in bubble bath, body wash, and shampoo here. And then there's also MEA and TEA. Those are known carcinogens, and you'll see them at the end of the list in your ingredients. Another one is aluminum, which is a big one. And as we know, it's in a lot of deodorants and other personal care products too. And that's just, you shouldn't put metals and things on your body. They're not good. And fragrances, like I mentioned, that's a big one to avoid. It may contain the phthalates, but they're also highly toxic on their own because manufacturers do not have to disclose what's in their fragrance. So when you can't see that, you don't know what exactly they're hiding in there because they can put a lot of different chemicals and then just disguise it all as fragrance, which sounds okay, but it's just full of things. The typical fragrance has up to like 14 secret ingredients that they do not have to tell you about. And a lot of them are highly allergenic and can trigger asthma or even just cause redness and irritation. And some labels will actually say free and clear or unscented, but that doesn't actually mean there are no fragrances in that. They just added fragrances that mask odors and doesn't smell like anything, but there are still fragrances in it. The best bet is to use products with essential oils if you don't have sensitivities, or just natural plant oils and extracts that have their own aroma, and just avoid anything that has fragrance in the label. And finally, triclosan. It's an antibacterial that was used in soaps, and it was actually banned in 2016 in healthcare settings, but it's still used in personal cosmetics. And it actually contributes to antibiotic-resistant bacteria and is an endocrine disruptor and contributes to gut inflammation. Yeah, that's a lot of information. I wish I had a little thing I could type out and just, post the ingredients, and I can do that later if you'd like. One of the most commonly asked questions I get, other than what to avoid, is what should a routine look like a personal care routine. Morning and evening are usually kind of different. The most important thing is cleansing. And even in the morning, cleansing does take precedence. It sounds obvious, but some people go without cleansing each morning. I used to do that myself. And the reasoning is that they wash their face at night and there's no makeup or dirt coming in contact with their skin while you sleep. So they just splash water on their face. And according to dermatologists, though, it could be a mistake because even the best products won't work if there's natural oils on the skin. So it's good to just do a quick, gentle cleanse, no soap, just a nice quick cleanse. And the products that you use will work best if they're absorbent, clean skin. And after cleansing, your skin would be smooth, fresh, and clean, and that's when you reach for a toner. And it's a thin veil of hydration that should always precede moisturizer. And toners are wonderful products to use, and while not everybody needs them, everyone can use them. And they're very calming, and they provide an additional layer of hydration to prep the skin for makeup. And people who have acne or oily skin will benefit most from using toners since they're formulated to remove oil and dirt from the pores. And if you don't have oily or acne-prone skin, you can treat toner as you would just a face mist or a facial wipe. And that can be really convenient when you're traveling or refreshing your skin on a hot day without ruining your makeup. And for a mister, we like using our little 2-ounce facial mists, and MT can relate. She uses those a lot, the little 2-ounce ones. They're compact enough to carry in your bag, and they have every quality you could want in a toner: witch hazel and a floral water, aloe vera, Next up is a treatment, so a serum. And your serum should be full of botanical extracts and antioxidants. And it should be lightweight, but it should have powerful hydration properties as the primary benefit. The potent blend of good for skin ingredients is why serums are usually the most expensive part of a skincare routine. They're usually full of actives, and those are usually much more expensive. And it's also why you should use them carefully and correctly. So when you apply it, you should apply it before a moisturizer and after a toner to get the best benefit. We have our hyaluronic acid and the berry essence are two of the lightweight treatment serums that we offer. And they are both full of active ingredients. Additionally, we also have the facial oils that are designed to be used before a moisturizer or all on their own as a serum. So after the serum, daily oil, you apply moisturizer to keep your skin balanced, hydrated, and the skin cells all plump. For people with dry skin, it's good to reach for a thick moisturizing cream like the Blue Tansy moisturizer that we have. And for those with oily skin, it's good to try the lighter, creamier gels. We also have one, the Cucumber moisturizer. And I recommend using your moisturizer as another opportunity to treat your skin. And you want your lotion or cream to have some brightening or peptide actives, and then make sure that you use an SPF as well. And finally, the last step in your morning routine or any part of your skincare routine should be an eye cream. And that should hydrate the delicate under eye area and keep the fine lines and wrinkles at bay. It should always be the last step in your regular routine. Although if I wake up and I have really puffy eyes, I like to use the raspberry gel first to help decrease the bags and tighten the skin. And I do recommend using eye creams twice a day, a lighter tightening, brightening one in the daytime, and then a richer, nutrient-dense one at night. And of course, we have one. It's the rose hip eye salve in the nighttime and the raspberry in the day. And the final step in a daytime routine is sunscreen. And it is really the best tool for preventing signs of aging and hyperpigmentation. It reduces fine lines and wrinkles, and it should go after skincare and before makeup. And it wouldn't be ideal to put SPF under a lotion or a cream because by nature, they block the sun rays and everything else from absorbing into the skin. So you would just be losing all the effects of your moisturizers and serums. And dermatologists say that the recommended amount of SPF for daily wear is 50. And although I do make a facial sunblock with zinc oxide, I also like the lighter water-based ones that are non-greasy and made for wearing underneath makeup. So I actually buy those ones. I use a brand called Purito or Alginist, and they are very light with zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. And at nighttime, skincare during the day and night can look really different, and it really does depend on your skin type, but I'll just describe my perfect nighttime skincare routine. So first up, cleanse. And to start it off, I highly recommend not using soap on your face. Soap typically has a very high pH level, and our skin is naturally acidic. So soap can strip your natural oils and create an imbalance, which can hurt your natural skin barrier. I recommend using a cleansing oil or a cleansing balm. They can cleanse your skin, they remove your makeup and impurities, but they don't mess up the hydrolipolytic layer of your skin, so it doesn't create imbalance. Oily skin will actually get the message that there is enough oil and it won't produce more. A lot of times people with acne prone or really oily skin, when they use soap, their skin overreacts. It's like, oh my gosh, we're so dry. And they just create way more oil than is necessary. And if you have dry skin, it just completely dries you out and your skin's just shocked. So when we strip our skin of the oil, it sends the wrong message and the skin tries to make up for it. While cleansing, you should also make use of the power massage and always go up, like defying gravity. So massage your neck up and your face in upward motions. Toning, so it's a must to keep your skin balanced, and there actually is a science to it because your skin's normal pH level is between 4.6 and 6.4, so it's slightly acidic. 7 is like water. Using a toner purifies, detoxifies, and balances the skin's pH, so it brings it back down. because even water is at a 7 is like above our natural acidic level. So it helps to bring it back down. And we do have several types. We have an AHA toner that works as an exfoliant. And then we also have the gentle witch hazel and rose water facial misters and toners. The next up is exfoliation. And this sloughs off the dead skin and the pore clogging impurities so other skincare products can sink in and work their magic. Both cleansing and exfoliating are essential for keeping skin youthful and fresh. But in many cases, you can actually combine the cleansing and exfoliating into one step, or the toning exfoliating in one step. You can save time by using a daily exfoliating cleanser like our face smoothie cleansing balms. It uses real fruit powder for just a touch of the gentle manual exfoliation while also cleansing and removing makeup. And this gentle exfoliant is gentle enough for everyday use. The old school way of thinking was to not exfoliate more than a few times a week. But these types of exfoliant cleansers can be used every day, and they eliminate the need to use both a cleanser and an exfoliating treatment separately. If you're using the more traditional exfoliation technique with the apricot shells and the more granular things, just do that a couple times a week because they can be really abrasive. Another way to exfoliate is to use chemical exfoliation, which sounds really scary, but it's actually very gentle. And we use AHAs or BHAs. The AHAs, the alpha hydroxy acids, and the beta hydroxy acids are chemical exfoliants, but they're gentler on your skin because they don't cause any micro tears and you can't be too rough with them. AHAs are better for sensitive skin as it works on the skin's surface. It helps to loosen the bonds between dead cells for gentle exfoliation. And it also helps to dramatically soften the skin, and it also does help heal sun damage. And BHAs, on the other hand, are better for more oily or acne-prone skin as it works inside the pores to shrink and unclog them. And so it's ideal for people with blemishes and bumps. I do have an AHA toner, but I don't currently make any BHA toners. So if you do have oily or acne-prone skin, Paula's Choice BHA toner is wonderful for that. After that, our skin should be ready for a treatment. And we always start with the serums. A good rule of thumb is thinner to thicker whenever you apply your facial care. Always start with the thinnest, most wateriest to the thickest. A serum isn't the only treatment you should use to aid your skin. On the nights where I have more time, I will mask with either the clay masks or the sheet masks you can buy. I don't make them, but they are really fun. And you can choose from a variety of types that target particular skin concerns, aging, fine lines, excess oil, dehydration, redness. And they even have fun little masks that you can just put right under the eyes and the lips. And this is also when you would use a clay mask. So after cleansing and toning. This is best as it works much better on clean skin. The exfoliation and toning also help get the most out of your clay mask. Never leave it on until it's completely dry. I try to stick to 10 minutes or when it starts to feel a little bit dry. If it completely dries, it'll just have sucked out all your natural oils and your skin will feel really dehydrated. The clay is just really powerful. So you should just use it until it starts being a little bit crispy. And after the mask, I like to rinse well and then use a facial oil to massage, and that helps to get the last of the bits out. And then follow with the rest of your routine. And at nighttime, moisturize. You might keep the same moisturizer for day and night, but you can also use this opportunity to target 2 separate conditions. Only you know what moisturizer you need: anti-aging, brightening, extra hydrating, and only you know if you want to use a cream or a butter or a gel or somewhere in between. Some of the most popular night creams out there are anti-aging, and which help combat visible signs of aging, the fine lines, the wrinkles, the sunspots. And they have hydrating properties and include ingredients that smooth and brighten the skin for a more youthful appearance. Some anti-aging creams contain retinol, which helps to speed up cell turnover and boost collagen production. Retinol can be pretty harsh though, and a natural alternative is to use rosehip seed oil, which has the natural precursor to vitamin A in it already. Pretty much any oil or product that is really bright orange or yellow has a lot of natural vitamin A in it. When it comes to cream, I would definitely suggest adjusting your cream based on the season. So for winter, use a heavier, more protecting cream like the mango butter night cream that we have. And in the summer, a lighter version like the blue tansy would be good. And you should also use an eye cream at the end of the step, like the rosehip eye salve that we have. So super bright yellow, and you just need a little bit under the eyes, and it's super nutritious and full of the natural vitamin A, so you don't need to redden. And so I know that's a lot of information, but if it's too much, just think simple: cleanse, tone, moisturize. To close off, I have a few more skincare tips to share. These are just kind of fun ones I've collected. The first tip: avoid the sun and wear sunscreen. When we were living in Asia, sun was like the devil, and all of my Korean friends who wear big hats and long sleeve shirts, they'd carry umbrellas. They really avoided the sun, and they also had beautiful skin because they just never exposed it to the sun. They were lacking vitamin D too, but they had nice skin. When you can't avoid it, wear sunscreen, and do wear a hat if you can. And try to use a sunscreen containing anti-inflammatory and barrier repairing ingredients. And a broad spectrum sunscreen with both the UVA and the UVB protection is best. And another tip is, like I mentioned just a few minutes ago, is layer your products from thinnest to thickest. And we consider treatment steps to be anything between toning and moisturizing. So laying your serums and your essences from thinnest to thickest helps the skin absorb each layer more efficiently. Another tip is to stimulate blood flow. Ginseng applied topically is a fantastic skincare tip. It works to stimulate the blood flow in the capillaries. It promotes a healthy, firmed, glowing from within skin. And the bonus points are if you layer a product containing hyaluronic acid with your ginseng, which I've done in my hyaluronic acid. It has ginseng, gotu kola, green tea, cucumber, and a sea kelp. Another tip is to use those targeted exfoliators, so the AHAs and the BHAs. They're very popular in dermatology clinics, but they are also formulated to be used at home. And they really do help to unglue the stubborn surface skin cells that cause dullness and clogged pores. And it's dependent on your skin type if you need an AHA or a BHA. If you're not oily and like acne prone, go with AHAs. Another tip is to remove your makeup and wash your face. And it's kind of surprising how many people come in and are like, I don't wash my face. It's like, what? How have you gone this far in life? No, just kidding. But really, like, your mom was right. You really should wash your face. And it's also really important to remove all makeup. People these days aren't wearing as much makeup just because we're all inside and on Zoom, so it's not as necessary. But it is really important to remove all that stuff. There's a lot of chemicals in the makeup that just really cling in and get stuck in your pores. When makeup is properly removed, your skin really can absorb products much better. An easy tip is to clean your face as soon as you get in the door instead of waiting before you go to bed, because by that time you're really tired. I've gotten to the habit of when I take my kids up to bed while they're brushing their teeth, I'll wash my face. Otherwise, I will be less inclined to do that at the end of the night when I'm exhausted. Also, you want to get out of your work clothes. There's a lot of pollution that can stick to them, and we don't really think about it, but it really can. It stays on your skin and then gets into your bed with you. And definitely use a cleansing oil or a cleansing balm rather than a soap. Another tip, get a good moisturizer. And the moisturizers really help your skin barrier by providing lipids, the oils, and they also help protect you from external chemicals, and they also provide hydration and water to our sometimes dehydrated skin. Another one, again, something my mother would always say, is to eat well. And your skin acts as a system to get rid of substances that don't agree with your body. So in the case of dairy, it can be very difficult for the body to digest, and which is why many people are lactose intolerant. So when some people get too much dairy for their body to digest, it can come out in the form of cystic acne, like large, painful bumps under the skin, especially on the chin and the jawline area. And the consumption of milk and cheese and yogurt may become factors that influence hormones and mimic hormones. So it like actually disrupts your hormones that trigger oil production. Another one is to have more greens. So a really great tip is to drink a juice, like a fruit juice or green juice every day. And it's a great replacement for afternoon coffee, and it really will transform your skin in just a few days. The ingredients in the juice help oxygenate the skin, and they help stimulate lymphatic drainage. So it's very depuffing as well. And start by eating a bit of avocado every day, or even throwing half an avocado into your morning smoothie. And avocado supplies the skin with healthy fats to hydrate from the inside out, which is very helpful. Another is to look into peptides. And when applied topically, specific peptides can reduce the appearance of lines and crow's feet. And my raspberry eye gel contains a lot of peptides, as does the cucumber moisturizer. And also, I think I mentioned this before, I believe, use a non-foaming cleanser. So please stay away from the soap. It's really important. Soap is incredibly difficult for our skin to handle. Although for your body, it's okay. You have a different pH level on your body. Different areas of your body actually have totally different pH levels. So soap for your arms and legs is fine. Just keep it away from your face. Another one is treat your neck as an extension of your face. And there's a bit of sad news about the neck for those in their 20s these days. While you have a lot of wisdom for caring for your skin, definitely a lot more information than people before. Technology has really affected us, and they have this term now called tech neck. And so the 45-degree angle that you hang your head to look at your phone causes like a repeated squishing of the neck, and you get premature folds and wrinkles, which our mothers did not have because they didn't do that all day. So try to cheat that and like moisturizing the neck, and definitely like always go up against gravity. This also applies to sunscreen, so please never forget your neck and chest area. You got to treat that just as like your face. Always go all the way down. And it's also good to actually apply a second layer of sunscreen to this area just to help prevent it. I've noticed that even I've got like little wrinkles and things here that I don't have elsewhere. I'm just like, why? And one more thing is to increase the circulation in your skin. And when the skin ages, less oxygen are being delivered to your skin. And often by the time you're 75 years old, you have 50% fewer blood vessels in your face. So with fewer vessels, it means less nutrient-rich blood and oxygen being brought to the cells of our skin. And the result of that is dull-looking skin. And to be sure the skin is healthy and has good blood flow, a really easy trick is to just hang your head upside down for a few minutes a day. So it's one of the best tips. You can do it just by doing a downward dog or just hanging your head off your bed for a few minutes. It really helps to bring the blood there and help with circulation. And after 3 minutes, a slight redness will appear on the skin, and in the long run, it really does make a difference for your inner glow. Okay, well, I've definitely had my fair share of time, so I think I'd love to turn the floor over to anybody who has any questions for me about skincare.
Kristin,
I was going to say you can put them in the chat or unmute yourself and go right ahead.
Okay. I had a question. I noticed in a lot of your products, we have an extract called calendula.
Calendula. Yeah.
Calendula. Can you tell me what that is?
Yes, absolutely. So calendula is actually a flower, and we grow all of our own calendula right outside. And it is one of the most like soothing flowers. And so I make extracts with it, and I use that instead of just like a plain oil. I like to just infuse all of my oils with herbs for extra benefits. I feel like it really ups the value of the oil itself. So calendula is used in a lot of different products for like soothing skin healing properties.
Okay, thank you. Healing.
Some of the collagen supplements. Yeah, that is really great. Like I've bought collagen to drink as well as to put on the face. So you can use the ingestible collagen, and you also can get products that have collagen in them to help support skin elasticity. Also, the hyaluronic acid is very good because it helps to plump out the skin cells and increase elasticity. And also, I would recommend using like nutrient-rich oils that just have so many different vitamins and amino acids in them that help support skin health and promoting elasticity.
I have another question.
Yes.
You mentioned masks, and you mentioned that you don't do masks right now.
I don't do
You don't make them.
I don't make the sheet masks. I do make the clay ones,
Okay.
but the sheet ones are nice because they're just like a little paper cloth that you just put over your face, and they're pre-soaked in all kinds of different active ingredients.
And typically, where do you get your sheet masks at?
I've purchased them different places. The drugstore often has some. Before Off Price went out of business, they had all kinds of really cool ones from like Korean skincare companies. Koreans love the sheet masks, and I really got into them when I was there. They have all kinds of like snail stuff in them and gold and all kinds of fun things. Yeah, it's really
Interesting.
It's really fun.
Okay, thank you.
So when you say that you wash your face while your children are brushing their teeth, you say we're not supposed to use soap. So when you wash your face, it's only with water.
No, I use either a cleansing oil or like a cleansing balm. The oil is nice because I can just pour it into a dry hand and then start rubbing it on a dry face, and then you just use a warm washcloth to like wipe it clean.
I see. Thank
It really
you.
helps like remove the toxins and dirt.
I have to say that as somebody who has had skincare issues since I was a teenager, like, you know, into adulthood, I've tried everything. And I was really skeptical about using your cleansing balm because you're so used to, you know, sort of that squeaky clean feeling in your skin. And the cleansing balm like keeps your skin really moisturized. But I've been like in complete surprise about how well it cleans my skin. But does not lead to, you know, blemishes. It's definitely my favorite product that you sell.
Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah, when I first heard about oil cleansing, it just shocked me, and I was just like, no way. How can you clean your face with oil? And so I started doing it. I was just like, all right, I'm going to commit. I'm just going to do it. And within a week, I was just surprised. I used to get out of the shower and my skin would be like so tight. I could feel it like cracking. But after I started using the oil cleanser, I've never had that feeling since. You know, soap is pretty harsh, but oil is, I mean, you think like oil, like dissolves like, so the oil actually like strips your skin of like the bad things and the impurities and the dirt without, you know, dehydrating your skin. But thanks, Tony. I see one in the chat. I don't actually know, who is Dr. Quint?
She works at Smart Eye Care, and she did probably maybe 3 or 4 months ago, she presented to our women's group about, you know, kind of the safety with makeup around your eyes and buildup and stuff like that. And she talked about a lot of the chemicals that are in eye serums and getting lash extensions and stuff like that. That's a good point, Rachel. I wonder if Dr. Quint approves, but I'm sure she would because Kristin's ingredients are pretty safe.
Yeah, I like the eyelash serum that we make. One of my friends sold a very popular, very expensive skincare multi-level marketing thing, and I bought it, and I was just, it scared me because it was so full of ingredients that just I'd never heard of. You know, you have to research each one. And so I wanted to make an eyelash serum that was safe and didn't have to have preservatives. So that means like no water in it, just oil-based, because bacteria really can't grow in oil. So it has like the castor oil and the infused herbs. And, you know, as long as you don't poke it into your eyeballs, it's really quite good even for people with sensitive eyes. It does have essential oils, but like such a minuscule amount that, I mean, you can barely smell it, as well as like 0.1%. So it's definitely pretty safe.
Cool.
But I would be curious to know what she thinks. I'd love that.
I can actually chime in on that because Dr. Quint is actually my eye doctor, and I use that eyelash serum. And when I talked to her about it, because I was using a really expensive eyelash serum before with a ton of ingredients, she said that it would be way better than any other serum that we could probably possibly have. So just that tip. And I like it too. And it's very comparable to that really expensive eyelash serum without the harsh ingredients and the price tag. So I love it.
Thanks. Yeah, that's definitely one of our most popular products ever. We sell it on Etsy, and that's like by far the most reviewed one as well. And people post pictures of before and afters, which is really cool. I wish we could like show those pictures everywhere. But
Tony asked if you've ever considered doing a hair care products.
yeah, I would love to do like a full hair care line, but the hair care products, man, it's like a totally different science. Like the skincare products, it's a lot of anionic things and ingredients and chemicals, and then the hair care is all like cationic and totally different emulsifiers, and it's really exciting, and I'd love to do that, but it'd be like a totally different new science to learn. But I do make like a hair oil that you can like use and like leave in and then rinse out in the morning. So I have that.
Well, before we close out, Kristin, and I hand it back over to Amanda, do you want to just mention where people can buy your products, your website, your Etsy shop, and that kind of stuff?
Yeah. So if you are local, then you can come on down to Winthrop. We're right on Main Street across from Freckle Salvage, next to Bloom. We're there Tuesday through Sunday, like 10 to 6, so all the time. And you can also shop online, picklespotions.net or picklespotions.com. One of them is Etsy, and the other one's our website. They're very comparable. They're just different platforms. But thank you so much for having me. It's been a real privilege to be here.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I know I have I did all kinds of different notes, and I'm like, I need to check this one, and that Pickle Beauty app, that was a good trick. I'm definitely going to download that app and check going forward when I buy anything. So
yeah, it's really handy.
Yeah, thank you so much. So Amanda, I'll hand it back over to you.
Yeah, awesome. So Lippman Cats in Boston has donated the prize for the drawing today, which is a $50 gift card to the Corey Tap Room in Hollowell. So I'd like to invite Karen to talk about her business and any updates she has going on. So Karen, take it away.
Thank you. This was a lot of fun today. Thank you, Kristin. I look forward to coming in to see your shop and checking out your website. I'm with Lippman Cates Boston. We opened for business December 15th, but actually here I'm practicing law with Roger Cates and David Lippman, and we've all previously were part of Lippman and Cates, so we've been around a long time here in Augusta. We're located in Augusta on 1 Weston Court, which is right across from the courthouse off of State Street. And we primarily here do personal injury, motor vehicle accidents, and family law cases, but we also do general civil disputes and other type of general practice work here. And we look forward to meeting all of you, and hopefully someday when COVID gets better, we'd love to have an open house and have everyone come in and see our new place.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So those who complete the survey after this meeting will go into the drawing to win. So keep your eye out for that email that will be sent after this session, and you'll have until the end of the day tomorrow to complete the survey for your chance to win. So next month will be a virtual paint night on February 10th at 4 p.m. with Rare Bird Art Studio. That sounds like so much fun. Registration closes on February 5th, so make sure that you do register early if you want in on that. So yeah, thank you all for joining us today, and we will see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you.